Fasting is one of the habits that conditions the soul, the body, the heart on the virtues of patience, tenacity, firmness in the face of adversity, as in, in the face of an unfavorable effect. But fasting has a wide range of advantages which I cannot pretty start breaking right now from here. But then, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 different types of fasting which you can pick from those and see which one is better for you. So I'm going to be helping you to choose out which one could be right for you or which one couldn't be right for you. And without any further delay, let's just dive right into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Akim, and the first one is complete fasting. So complete fasting is where somebody goes deprived of both food and drinks throughout the whole day. So which kind of people should do this type of fasting? Those who are really serious with what they want. As in, what I mean by people who are serious with what they want is, one, people who are serious that maybe they want to lose weight, or these kind of people are really serious that they want to get to a significant level of self-awareness. So another type of people who can do this type of fasting, or who usually do this type of fasting, are those people who really have a spiritual character. So people who really have a very good spiritual character are very good for this type of fasting. And another type of people who really do this type of fasting are those people who are really pros at fasting. So they are those people who are really used and accustomed to fasting, so those ones can go for this type of fasting. Even those who think that they can do this type of fasting, which type of preconditions are there before you go for this type of fasting? So one of the preconditions which you have to take before you do this type of fasting is, one, making sure that you look out to your doctor and see if this type of fasting will be good for you or it will not. So some of the people really have medications which they have to take, and make sure that they take care of their health. Another precondition is that someone should have the deep intention of fasting the day before. So this type of fasting is somewhat not okay, it's more of a mental hunger than it is a stomach hunger, because when you're fasting in this type of way, you will realize that it's in some conditions, okay, you will feel hungry stomach wise, but then it's more of a mental hunger, controlling yourself from the glamorous and the good smell of the oranges, of the goodies you want. So make sure that you have a very deep intention before you go into this type of fasting. So how is this type of fasting basically done? So how this type of fasting is done is, make sure first of all you have a very good intention, or an intention to do this type of fasting, because as I told you, it's more of a mental hunger. Make sure that you take a very heavy meal in the morning as a fast breakfast. So taking a heavy meal in the morning will help you to go throughout the whole day when you're well, or when you're good, or when you're well prepared for the fasting period. So taking a heavy meal means a lot of things. It can mean taking fast foods, taking a lot of weird foods, but make sure you take foods that are really gonna help you to go throughout the morning. Not taking a snack, not taking. Make sure you take something like cooked food, or something that is really spends a lot of time in the stomach. And another thing you have to make sure you do is taking a deliberately high amount of water. So taking a high amount of water will help you to stay out throughout the whole day when you're hydrated. So after doing all this, make sure you go throughout the whole day deprived of food and drinks throughout the whole day. But then, you don't just go throughout the whole day when you're deprived of food and drinks, but then, you go throughout the day or throughout the whole day when you're cleansing yourself. Cleansing yourself in this form of fasting, it means acting in a way of bettering yourself. So make sure you behave in a very good way throughout the whole day. And make sure, the last one, that you break your fast as soon as possible. When the sun sets, as soon as it sets, make sure you break your fast with something that is pretty sweet, something like a very ripe banana, a ripe orange, a ripe date, something that is pretty sweet. Because according to Ayurveda, it is recommended to eat something that is pretty sweet when their digestive fire is still very high, such that it jumpstarts the digestion in a very fast and very good way. So another type of fasting is water fasting. So water fasting is where you go through the whole day deprived of food, but when you're taking drinks. So which kind of people should take these type of fasting? So the kind of people who are recommend this type of fasting are people who are really scared of the fast form of fasting. And being scared of the fast form of fasting is pretty something that's very normal. And another kind of people are those who are very serious with what they want, but then being serious with what they want, but then they don't really know, or they don't want to take a very sharp transition from not fasting to fasting. And I really support that. You don't want to make, a very sharp transition from where you don't know and then jump into something new. So these are people who want to make step improvement, and I really support that. And this form of fasting has preconditions also, which you have to take before doing it. So the first precondition you have to take note of is visiting your doctor. And when you visit your doctor, make sure that you consult him whether you're good for this type of fasting or you're not. And another precondition is having the intention, and the other one is make sure you take water when you need to take it. So I'm going to talk more about that in the process how you're supposed to do this type of fasting. So how are you supposed to do this type of fasting? So this type of fasting is really controversial, so a lot of people really do it in a lot of ways, but I'm going to give you the best way, which I personally think could be the best way you could do it. So the first thing you have to do in the morning is waking up before dawn, and then when you wake up before dawn, make sure you take a deliberate amount of water. So when you take a deliberate amount of water, make sure you also take a heavy meal that will take you throughout the whole day. So after taking these very heavy meals to take you throughout the whole day, make sure that you deprive yourself of foods throughout the whole day. So, and on top of that, taking water should be done only and only when you need to take water. You know, this is one of the things that really people go wrong with this type of fasting. They want to take water every single second. They walk with large gallons of water, and they want to take water every single time they that is not how it's done. This type of fasting, or the goal of fasting, is depriving yourself of calories and food and water, you know, for a deliberate amount of time, for a reasonable amount of time. So taking water every now and then really doesn't work out, because thirst is a natural urge. So whenever you feel thirsty, that is when you're supposed to take the water. And on top of that, make sure you behave well throughout the day. And another one, make sure that you break your fast as soon as possible. And the other type of fasting is juice fasting. And this is where you fast while taking juice only throughout the whole day. So this is some sort of fasting that is pretty easier than the fast ones, and anyone can really go for this, I believe. But then a precondition, you should really make sure you consult your doctor before going into any form of fasting. And how can this one be done? So how you can do juice fasting is really waking up before dawn and taking some good amount of food, and making sure that after taking this good amount of food that you make some juice for yourself that can help you go throughout the whole day. Maybe you're going to school or you're going to work, whatever. You make some very good juice for yourself. It could be some orange juice, which is very good. It could be coconut water. So you make sure you get juice that really will not upset your stomach. You know, a lot of people make very bad juice choices, which can lead to vomiting, which can lead to bloating, which can lead to acidity in the stomach. So you make sure you get a juice that is really favorable for you. Like I don't take juice of passion fruits. I don't know why, but it's really bad for me. So make sure you know yourself and you take the juice that really favors and really makes you feel at home. So after realizing and making that juice, make sure you take the juice when you have to take the juice. So a lot of people will really find themselves taking juice every now and then. That is not how it works. Then you have, destroyed the whole, goal of fasting. And another one is, do not put a lot of sugar, please. When you put a lot of sugar, it's like you're just taking a shortcut of giving the body direct glucose. So the last one is fasting according to the meals. So which kind of people really do this type of fasting? So the kind of people is that everyone can really do this, and mostly the young people who are really scared by the other forms of fasting. They're very daunting, I know. So if you're maybe 10 or 11 or 15 years, and you're also looking forward to bettering yourself, you can go for these types of fasting because they're very good. And the preconditions is that you can maybe go to your doctor or consult your parents before you do this type of fasting, and after you can do the type of fasting. So this one is done in a lot of ways, and the fast one is making sure that you forego your breakfast. So foregoing your breakfast is like postponing it. So postponing your breakfast. So let's say I usually take breakfast at 8. When I wake up at 5, I take my breakfast at 8. So let's say I jump the 8 timestamp and then I move to 10. So instead of taking breakfast at 8, I take it at 10. So this really clarifies that I fast for almost 14 hours, because for the whole night, let's say I slept for 7 hours, sorry, and then I also fast for these other hours, which makes it something like 14 hours. So make sure that you do it like that, or it can be done in another way where you miss your lunch, or you miss your lunch and dinner, or you miss dinner only. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you got something for this video. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you comment on the comment section and let me know from you. And if you have any inquiries, feel free to contact me. And as always, until next time.